Sure.
Happy
How's
Hanukkah.
everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy Hanukkah.
It's not,
Oh yeah.
Not
For me,
Hanukkah there
it's
yet.
too early. No, don't wait. For me, it's too early.
We don't want to hear it here. It's not
What?
Hanukkah yet.
Ellie, what was last night?
Saba, we
Last night
can't
was
tell you.
you.
What'd you say, Ellie?
I already went. So tonight was one. You could say. So I already went.
Okay, let's go to Vayeshev.
Sean, you want me to screen share? Or
Do you mind?
I do not mind. Am I host? Am I the host?
No one say. There you are.
I'm the hostess with the mostest. Okay,
Yes, this is you are, Doffmo.
fine.
Put.
So let's just read the first pasuk.
Um,
Vayeshev. It's a crazy, crazy parsha. Just saying.
This is crazy, Russia.
Should I
When is
read
it
it?
appropriate to sell your siblings? Okay.
Okay,
Saba, where should we read?
just read the first two psukim, please.
I read?
Mhm.
וישב יעקב בארץ מגורי אביו בארץ כנען. אלה תולדות יעקב, יוסף בן 17 שנה, היה רואה את אחיו בצאן, והוא נער את בני בלהה ואת בני זלפה, נשי אביו, ויבא יוסף את דיבת רעה אל אביהם.
Okay, so I'd like to do now one Rashi, the Rashi in pasuk, bear with me, pasuk bet. And it's pasuk bet, or is it, yeah, Aleph, just a second. There's still pasuk Aleph. It's a huge Rashi, so I'd like to go almost to the end of that Rashi, very back. Ve'od nidrash bo vayeshev. Can anybody? It's Bereshit Rabbah. Can you
It's a
see it?
long it's a long Rashi. This one here,
Huge Rashi. It's
Saba?
almost towards the end. It's almost just
This one,
before
Saba?
the Na'ar.
Wait, Saba here?
Uh,
This Rashi?
I can't see it.
No.
Oh,
You-
It's the
you-
right hand side of the screen.
But your faces are in the middle.
is this Pasuk Aleph?
Oh, oh. Keep going down. Down.
Is it Pasuk Aleph, Saba? Where's
The
Pasuk Bet?
pasuk Aleph, yes, please, yeah.
Okay, this is the only Rashi I have on here for Pasuk Aleph.
Then they go into bed.
Okay.
There we go. Keep going. Wait. Now you went too far. Okay, right there.
Okay.
Just one line above that.
Which line?
Up. Go up a little. One line. There you go.
Vayeshev?
Yeah.
Okay, I can
Okay.
read it.
Ve'od nidrash bo.
Where does it say? Oh, Ve'od Nidrash.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nidrash. Vayeshev. Bikesh Yaakov Leishev Bishalva. Yaakov went to rest.
Wanted
Peace.
shalva.
Uh,
Kafas alav rugzo shel Yosef. Okay, it's a very famous
He-
Rashi.
But
But I'd like to analyze what this means.
wait, Saba,
Because-
can you translate that first?
Sure. Yaakov wanted to live in peace.
Mhm.
And he wanted, but instead what happened was the terrible thing that happened with Yosef.
Mhm.
So far, so good?
Yeah.
Now, the question I have is, what do you mean he wanted to live in peace? Did he want to retire? Did he want to go to Florida, to the beach? What exactly was it that he was looking for? In other words, Yaakov didn't, obviously he went through so much terrible situation with his brother and with Lavan and all these other things. But what exactly was he looking for in terms of shalva? Shalva means some kind of an ultimate peace. So I'd like, if you don't mind, let's go now to Perek Tet Vav, Pasuk Yud Bet.
What's that in English? What pair?
Sorry?
15:12.
Pair. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, what we're going to read now is a famous Brit Ben Abtarim.
You say 15?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perek 15, Pasuk 12.
Okay. I got it. Yeah.
Go ahead. Who wants
You
to
read
read
it? Yeah, I can read it. Vayhi hashemesh lavo, v'tardema nafla al Avram, v'hinei ema chashecha gedola nofel alav.
Eima chashecha nofelet alav. Horrible, horrible feeling of fear. Keep going.
Vayomer la'Avram, yado eteda ki ger zeracha be'eretz lahem v'avadim v'inu tam 400 shana.
You will have 400 years when you will be a ger, and else it's not yours, and they will enslave you and then torture you. Keep going. 400 years.
Daphne, you have to sing it.
Wait, do we do the same tune as they do? V'gam etagaya. That's a Hubas tune. Oh, Dana nochi, Dana nochi.
Okay.
Ve'achar yifei nitzu v'rechush gadol.
Nachlechen yetzu b'chush gadol. What do you
Forgot
think
that tune.
what do you think that means?
After their
After 400 years, go ahead.
after their 400 years are up, they'll leave with a lot of
L'chush,
Money.
money
money.
and property.
I have to admit that that's exactly how Rashi and Onkelos translate that. But does that make sense? Would you be willing to spend 400 years in slavery and then torture and then you get a lot of money? I mean, that doesn't sound like the right thing.
Mm-mm.
The only way you can really understand that is the ultimate rechush, which is HaKadosh Baruch Hu's creation, revelation to the Jewish people. After those 400 years, I will reveal myself on Har Sinai, and you will have a connection with God. That's the only way you can make such a thing. I mean, to tell me, you're going to be in slavery for 400 years, and I'll pay you much money. That doesn't add up. Although Rashi and Onkelos do say that, and there is an element of payment. But what really is coming here, in order for you to get that connection between God and man, you somehow or other you have to live through these 400 years. Why? I mean, nobody knows that, but one possibility is you know what it feels like. And when you ultimately get to Eretz Yisrael, you know what it feels like to be a ger, and you know what it feels like to be enslaved, and you'll never do it to anybody else. That's the easiest way to explain it. But be that as it may, ידוע תדע כי גר זרחה בארץ לא להם, ועבדום ועינו אותם 400 שנה, ואחרי כן יצאו בחוש גדול. Did they actually have 400 years in Mitzrayim?
No.
How many years they have? 210. Will do.
Mm-hmm.
How did they get around? Because Hashem started to say, look, the slavery was so horrible, I'm going to start counting not from when they went to Mitzrayim, I'm going to start counting from they were when Yitzchak was born. So somehow or other, we can take those 400 years and manipulate them. Now watch this. Let's read that one more time. Yadoa teda ki ger yezaracha be'eretz lo lahem. Does that apply to Yaakov?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure, he has to go to Lavan, he has to go to Haran. Remember, this is Hashem speaking to Avram. He doesn't say which ger is. I mean, he doesn't say which zera is. Ki ger yezaracha be'eretz lo lahem. Va'avadum ve'inu otam. Remember I told him what Lavan did to him? He had to be in the cold and he had to be in the heat. So maybe, says Yaakov, Bikesh Yaakov l'shem b'shalva. Maybe this is the Rechush Gadol finally. What's missing? 400 years. Again, Yadoat ki ger yazacha be'eretz lo lahem, it's me. Va'avadum v'inu otam, it's me. 400 shana is missing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
What about the gamut of Goy Asher Yavodu, by the way?
That's God's business. That's not my business. But I think God will eventually get rid of do to those what has to be done. But for me, maybe I am the one in which Yeshev Shalva means that ultimate Rechush Gadol. Bikesh Yaakov Yeshev Shalva. So what's the one thing that's still missing?
The 400 years.
400 years. Now this is magnificent. What you see now is unbelievable. I'd like you to go take a look at Perek Lamed Aleph. Pasuk Zayin.
Wanda.
Yeah. Okay.
This is Yaakov speaking to his wives, telling them how much he was tortured by their father. What happened? Va'avichen.
Hetel bi Eliga.
והחליף את משכורתי 10 מונים, ולא נתנה אלוהים מהרע עמדי.
How much did Laman Shilim? 10 times. Now, if you don't mind, go to Perek Lamed Aleph. Pasuk Mem Aleph.
זה לי 20 שנה בביתך, עבדתיך 14 שנה בשתי בנותיך, ו6 שנים בצונך, ותחלף את משכורתי 10 מונים.
How many times did he cheat him?
10.
10 times.
10 plus 10 is what?
20.
20.
Start the pasuk, Eli, one more time from beginning.
זה לי 20 שנה.
20 שנה I worked for you. And how many times did he cheat him? 20. 20 times 20 is how much?
400.
400. Bikesh Yaakov Leshev B'Shalva. Yaakov figured, this is me. Yadoa Teda Ki Yazracha Be'eretz Lo Lahem. Me. Va'abadum V'inotam. Me. 400 Shana. Me. Because I was cheated 10 times, 10 plus 1. So 20 years, that's 400 years. Bikesh Yaakov Leshem B'Shalva doesn't mean you want to go to the beach to be, what do you call it, to be retired. He was really hoping that finally the Brit Benaptaim came to fruition. Hashem said, it's not time. But the beautiful part of it is, if you take a look at what he was hoping for, Yaakov really felt maybe the Brit come finally. And as you know, every generation, our generation always feels maybe this is the Geula. We were blessed in my time to have Eretz Yisrael, which we didn't have for 2,000 years. Maybe that's the Geula. But the bottom line is, if you take a look at the Psukim, Yaakov really believed that maybe he was finally ready. The Chush Gadol, the real Chush, not the money, but he had money, everybody had money. But the Rechush Gadol, the association with God to man and man to God, Bikesh Yaakov Leshem B'Shalva. Kafas Lahu Dosh Yosef, unfortunately. But every generation always feels maybe this is the generation.
So isn't it that Yaakov never had peace? His whole life?
Never had peace. What Daphne is speaking about is Pasuk when Paro asks him, how old are you? He just doesn't answer. He says, I'm that much old. I never had peace. Never had peace. And that's why human beings have to have that. We don't know. That's another realm. But every generation looks, maybe this is it. And Yaakov was convinced. Bikesh Yaakov L'Shalva. It works for me. 10 plus 10 is 20. For 20 years, 400 years. And he fits every piece in the thing. I'm sorry, yes.
Very nice idea. Why does it sound like Chazal criticized Yaakov?
I'm sorry?
I said it sounds like Chazal are criticizing Yaakov.
Yeah, okay, that's a good question. Because you're asking a very good question, because at the same time, you can read the same Rashi, Bishalva, meaning that he's looking to relax. We have two ways to look at this question. Bishalva means, I've had enough, I want to retire from all this. And Hashem says, no, human beings never retire. So in that respect, you're absolutely right, Eli. In that respect, they criticize at that level. But on another level, the other level is, Bikesh Yaakov Shavah, you really thought this was the real thing. And unfortunately, as you know, through Jewish history, there were many, many times when we really thought the Mashiach came. There were so many times that it's happened over and over again. And it didn't happen. Bar Kochba, they thought was a Mashiach. Frank, they thought Mashiach, what's his name? Shabtai Tzvi. And Hashem says, don't jump into this thing. I'll tell you when it's time. But your question is a very good question. I think the answer to your question is that there are two levels. There are two levels of Chush Gadol. She said Chush Gadol, you have a lot of money. Nobody wants to go through what the Jews went in Egypt and told somebody had a lot of money. That doesn't work. On the other hand, they did get money because they had to be repaid. There are two levels that you have to look at this Rashi.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else want to say anything?
Nice. It reminds me a little of the idea of Hanukkah, like when the guild, like that we're kind of, Mao's tzur.
Yeah, fair.
Our whole mahalach of the different.
Very nice.
So,
I like the idea. So when you say Azigmor b'shir mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach, what does that mean? Azigmor b'shir mizmor Chanukat HaMizbeach. What does that mean? So I tell you what.
Shani won the donut contest.
What's that?
Shani won the donut contest, Saba.
That was the one about Chasov Zroa? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So very interesting thing. When the Kohanim were singing in the Beit HaMikdash and the Romans entered it, they were in the middle of singing Mizmor Shir Chanukat HaBayit, and they were killed by the Romans. Ma osur az egmor b'shir mizmor Chanukat HaBayit. When the time comes, I will finish the song that they were not allowed to finish. So your idea about Shalva and this is very, very, very appropriate. Very appropriate. When that time comes, it didn't come yesterday, that's for sure. But tomorrow, maybe. Yafeh.
Thank you, Saba.
Thank you. Chag Sameach. Yeah, for me, I still haven't done Mincha yet, so we have time. Love you all.
Love you
guys.
Chag Sameach, שנשמע בשורות טובות.
Amen.